Welcome back to the Orleans Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the 2016 USBC Senior Queens. I'm Aaron Smith alongside Emil Williams Jr. of USBC Communications, and today we've already seen the end of qualifying, the first two rounds of the winner's bracket, and now this is the opening round of action for the elimination bracket. So we still have best of three matches taking place, with total pinfall determining who makes it to the next round and, unfortunately, who goes home. So this is survive and advance time for all the competitors out here on the lanes right now. Behind lanes 17 and 18, our feature match, Paula Vidal, the 2011 Senior Queens champion, taking on Adriana Ortega. Also in proximity, we have Carol Jones and Lisa Wasson taking on each other, along with Barbara Batt and Carol Teal. That match over on 21 and 22. Jones Wasson over on 13 and 14. The lanes were reconditioned for this round, so this is the fresh 40-foot pattern that competitors have seen a few times already, so game plans should be pretty good. Just a matter of execution at this point. Give you a quick rundown of what the bracket looks like. If you haven't seen it for yourself, you can go down into the description area and check it out there. There's a link. Or you could go to bowl.com/Senior Queens and click on 2016 results. You'll see everything we've had in store here from the Orleans up to this point. But so far in our winners bracket, we saw Tish Johnson defeat Terry Ward live on Bowl TV, 700 to 580 to advance to the next round. So Tish, our number one seed in the USBC and PWBA Hall of Famer, is done bowling for today. She'll return tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific. That's noon Eastern. For our first round, we'll be here back on Bowl TV. Tish will take on Christy Witcher, who defeated Sharon Aronson 603 to 560 to stay undefeated. On the other matches on that bracket, or on that side of the bracket, Karen Barkel of Albuquerque defeated Michelle Silver 640 to 558 to remain undefeated. She'll take on Sandra Schultz of Macomb, Michigan. Sandra defeated Lilia Johnson 680 to 607. Over on the other side of the bracket, Australia's Robin Flynn defeated fellow Australian Julie Harrison 631 to 577 to advance to the round of 8. While Roseanne Costanzo defeated Beth Owen Sipolewski 555 to 490, so they'll face off tomorrow morning. Also on that side of the bracket, Sharon Powers coasting over Michelle Carter 654 to 558. She'll take on our two-time defending champion, USBC and PWBA Hall of Famer Robin Romeo, who defeated Char Hamill, the 2010 Senior Queens champion, 612 to 537. For our competitors in front of us, Ortega was the number 21 seed. She lost to Karen Barkal 605 to 509 in the opening round. Fidad was the 5 seed. Bowled pretty well in her match, but Michelle Silver fired a 698 at her to 631. Once again, a big thanks to everyone for joining us, as well as our gold industry partners, Columbia 300, Hammer, Kegel, and Storm. Kegel was kind enough to provide us with our pattern this week, as well as help condition the lanes here. We'll have one more round after this, so total of 6 games left in the day for your viewing pleasure. Then we'll be down to our final 16 competitors who will have a chance to make it to the stepladder finals here at the 2016 event. That's scheduled to take place right here on Bull TV tomorrow evening, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 local time here in Las Vegas. So a lot of excitement left in store here on Bull TV as Paula trips the 4. She's out to the early advantage, 22 pins. See if Adriana can match with a strike of her own here in the 5th. That one's going to have to hustle. Leaves the 2-4-5. Over on 21 and 22. Barbara Bett taking early advantage of an open in the 6th frame. By Carol Teal. Teal with 110 in the 6th. But Bett stepping up in the 7th, just left a washout. She's still going to hold the advantage heading into the 8th. Whether she picks it up or not. But for good measure, nice cover. Once again, that's just to the right of our featured pairs on 21 and 22. We are skipping pairs here for match play, so just one match at a time. That shot got away from Paula. Doesn't lose anything on the count, though. Good start for both Carol Jones and Lisa Wasson. So they are in the 9th frame now. Slight advantage to Lisa. And once again, 3-game matches, a long way to go. If there's someone who knows how to get the job done in 3-game matches, it's Emil Williams Jr. Looks like he's about ready to join us here in game 1. What's up, Guy?
I have no idea what you're referring to. But it all sounds good. I appreciate it.
Well, there we go. That's half the battle. That's what we're doing here, right? Sounding good and showcasing off some of the top bowlers across the globe. Now for these players, they had around to actually sit back, relax, and do what they needed to do to prepare, so they didn't have back-to-back rounds. However, if they end up winning here, they'll be back at it about 20 minutes after the last ball finishes up. So you got to wonder how each player kind of handles that time. It's obviously do or die time for this event. If you want to hang on in advance and go for some bonus bowling on Thursday, but I'm sure each player's routine a little bit different, in hopes of getting prepared, whether it's eating a little bit, maybe heading back to the room, a quick nap. Now they had a practice pair down there, saw a few of them bowling, so to each their own.
Yeah, it definitely is a unique set of circumstances for each individual player. How they choose to utilize the break. Got to regroup. Everyone here, of course, on the same level as far as the contenders bracket is concerned, because they lost their first match. So if they want to make the step ladder, it's going to be a long climb, but it can be done. Part of that is about how you can get off to the best start possible following that loss. You take that break, do what you need to do, come back focused and ready to go.
Absolutely.
That you need to win twice, of course, this evening to remain in the competition.
And that's looking ahead. Just said, obviously these players had the final 5 games of qualifying. Already bowled the first round, another 3, that's 8 games. After this will be 11. If you win again, that's 14. And then you still got a lot of work to do the next day. So for these competitors in this round, it's really gonna have to dig deep. We got 2 rounds tonight, as you mentioned, for those who advance. They have to make it through another 3 before they get to the finals of the elimination bracket, which is cool. We've seen it at the Masters and at the Queens. The final 4, if you will bowl a 3-game match with 3 of the seeds advancing. So just whoever had the low series ends up in 6th place. Had a nice week. But then those next 3, step ladder time. Then you never know. We go from 3 games to 1 game, so it gets even crazier out there.
Yeah, and match play really tests the mental side of the competitors and their individual games. Yeah, it's one thing to be undefeated, because everyone wants to be in that position. That's the best position you can be in, of course, but and that carries its own mental of aspects as well, just managing the frame by frame, match to match portion of it. Of course, if you're undefeated, you don't want to get ahead of yourself. You don't want to, think about what could be. And then on the flip side, if you're in this position where these ladies are currently, you still don't want to get too far ahead thinking how many matches you need to win total just to get to the Final Four that you just talked about. So kind of there's some mental managing that needs to happen.
That's right. Leave the speculation up to us, right?
That's correct. It is truly a frame-to-frame, game-to-game mindset. And then, after that, kind of that first level or the second level, then match-to-match. How you need to approach the next match strategically, mentally, and everything in between.
Yeah, we chatted with Robin Romeo, and a lot of that sounded similar to what she was talking about as a two-time defending champion here, and you definitely can't get too far ahead of yourself, and want to stay in the moment, just stay.
It's just so long. I mean, the format is so long because, which is one of the great things about it, in my opinion. I think it's a great format because it is long, and it provides kind of that grueling aspect in certain situations. And if you make the step ladder final, it really means you earned it. Especially if you're one of the 3, 4, 5 seeds. Not that obviously the leader and the second seed didn't earn it because they did. The top seed will be undefeated. They certainly earned it. But to throw in the extra matches, if you're coming from the contenders bracket and depending on where you start your contenders bracket journey, it's certainly not an easy task. So all 5 individuals, whoever those will be, and we'll find out, of course, tomorrow, will have earned their spots.
Very, very true. Right now in our surrounding matches, as we wrap up game 1, Barbara Batt 195 against Carol Teal 189, so 6-pin difference there. 6-pin difference over on 13 and 14 as well. Carol Jones 206, Lisa Wasson 200. Paula has the opportunity to open this match up pretty quickly here, kind of what we saw last round with Tish Johnson against Terry Ward. Built up a pretty substantial lead to kick things off and just kind of coasted from there. Certainly not a guarantee.
Lisa Wasson in the second frame picked up a nice split, a great split conversion, then followed it up with a strike. So that's talking about taking care of business right there. You leave it split, you make it, and then you follow it up with a good shot. 6-pin match early on in game number 2. Had a lot of close matches. Some of our opening winners bracket matchups.
So Paula working on 3 in a row. I'm not gonna lie, I've had the opportunity. I don't know why I would lie in the first place, but I had to tell you that I wasn't gonna lie. But had a lot of opportunities to watch Paula throughout the years, and it seems like I'm not even 100% sure what bowling ball it is, but I've seen her stick with this ball quite a bit in the past. Just the ball roll looks familiar. The color scheme, it's almost like an old reliable, if you will, or just a real good benchmark ball that when you need it, it's time to do something. This is the ball to go to. So saw it quite a bit at the World Bowling Senior Championships. We're seeing it here at the Senior Queens.
Well, certainly, I'm sure every bowler has that, or a couple benchmark balls, or maybe the two balls that they know they can go from. So benchmark to option B, whether that's up the ladder performance, or whether it's option B, to low performance, something weaker or stronger. And you need a benchmark ball. It's important. It kind of helps you start, in a sense. Probably the first ball you pick up, see what that gives you, and then you work your way from there.
225 to 168. Paula Vidal out to a 57 pin lead. Yeah, confident math.
I think I learned a lesson about benchmark balls a little too late. I guess not too late. It's never too late in the bowling world.
Was it before or after you won your national title?
It was. It probably was after, actually. But when you have a ball that you like, if you can get multiples of said ball, that's a highly recommended thing to do if you're able to. Certainly not always possible, but having multiples of something you like to be able to go to on reserve is important.
Certainly so. That familiar roll. Nice shot by Ortega to kick off game 2. Has her work cut out for her, but that's a good start. So you got to start somewhere. Rule number 1.
Shelly and Lucy, their match on the furthest pair away from us.
Currently.
So do not have a good look on the scoreboard or at their scoreboards. We'll try to provide some update, of course, as we move along for you.
Looks like Deborah Lee, Canada, fired a 231 against Mandy Wilson to start. Looks like Mandy had 186. That's a little bit further down on 24 or 25 and 26. Our other surrounding matches still kind of developing here. No one's jumped out to too big of a lead yet. Everyone kind of waiting out the opening rounds and waiting to make their move. Two great shots to kick off game 2 for Adriana. Once again, just need to get going a little bit. All of a sudden it can start tumbling in the right direction quickly.
Qualifying 21st. 15 games of qualifying through 2 days. Tuesday, 2 rounds. This morning, the final round of qualifying before match play began. And that one is a little right from Ortega.
You know, we talk about so much with Paula. We've mentioned the 2011 Senior Queens title a lot, but before she steps up in the third, she's got a few other senior titles to her collection as well. Don't want to let those go unnoticed. Back in 2015. Back in 2015. That was last year. That was like 6 months ago. Paula captured the title at the National Golden Ladies out here in Las Vegas, so it's kind of a part of the big three for the senior ladies to compete in. Michelle Carter won the 2016 version. We've seen her out here bowling fairly well. She won her first match, but then lost to Sharon Powers in round number 2. Paula also the owner of back-to-back senior U.S. Women's Open titles, 13 and 14. And a saw nickel right there.
Saw nickel. Well played. I understand you have some familiarity with that.
Some. I have more than I would like to attest, but it makes the likes of Mike Donahue smile, so that's half the battle. Usually there's extra there too. It's get the full meal package, not just the entree. So you get the sides too. So if you're a little hungry, the 4's along with it. If you haven't eaten in a while, add the 7. Good times. Paula doesn't do that though. She just trips it, shows off like that.
Big double for her early on too. After the open from Ortega. Barbara Batt clean through 5. Couple fall for Barbara. Be able to see it just off to the right. Two pin better than a combo. Ortega bounces back with a strike in the 4th, and now we'll double up here in the 5th. And no help on the 7 pin. Again, thanks to all who have continued to watch throughout. Yesterday and today. We'll continue our coverage, of course, through the evening for our next round, and then, of course, tomorrow our champion will be crowned. Tomorrow, some of the storylines will magnify. Perhaps some new ones will develop as well as Paula Vidal with 3 in a row.
Yeah, definitely the exciting part, seeing, I'm sure you wouldn't be surprised if we had some familiar names in there, but at the same time, it's always good to see some new faces emerge out of the bracket, and certainly some contenders here. All these ladies throw the ball very well, so I would not be surprised by anyone making a run here. But yeah, a lot of it has to do with the experience of just kind of winning a few matches, getting through it. I think once you kind of break through with that, you know, whether it's here or another major event, just being able to get through a few rounds or make it to a step ladder, even if it doesn't necessarily translate to a win, then it's going to down the road. That was a cool talking point with Danielle McEwen, who's recently has seemed to win everything. But throughout the PWBA season in 2015, she made a few step ladder finals, made it to extra frame a few times, but just couldn't get past that first match. And she said right the day before the Tour Championship show, she's like, I feel if I just can get that first win out of the way, then I'll be fine. It just needs to happen. Then she goes and shoots 279, I think, against USBC Hall of Famer Liz Johnson to kick things off to get that win, and then secures her first professional victory over Stephanie Johnson. And from there, it's just been a crazy few months for her. But yeah, just that little push over the edge is all you need to make it go.
Good shot off to the left from Lisa Watson. That was a second shot in the 10th frame. Would have had a chance to put 202 on the board with an extra strike. She'll go strike 9 spare for 191. Following a strike in the 9th frame. Trying to add a few more pins. Her total. Carol Jones shot 150. 150 game. Watson Jones in game 2. 391 to 364. Watson with the lead. They entered game 3.
Lisa, one of those players who knows how to make her way through this event. Finished 3rd last year at the Schwabenon Bowling Alley in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So now has to see if she can hold on. 27-pin lead over on 21 and 22. Barbara Batt has stayed clean through 7. Carol Teal with an open in the 3rd. Just 1 strike apiece for each of them, so 13-pin advantage in the game to Barbara Batt, and add 6 onto that from game 1, so 19 ahead. So they hit the home stretch. Wow. All right, that, yeah, that just happened. 10 pin definitely moved and slid. Just did not, forgot the falling over part. Now it's reset. She'll go ahead and take care of the 10 pin. Get that score corrected, and Adriana Ortega will look for double in the 8th. Carol Teal delivering a double over on 21 and 22 in the 8th and 9th frame. Just going to see if Barbara Batt can match with a double of her own, stepping up in the 9th. Just enough of the 2-weight. Adriana, smile on her face after that one. You know, she might have got away with that one, but take them when you can get them. Adriana can still get to 214 this game with the back 4. Paula on a 217 pace. Still max out at 237. Mr. Williams, you've come back with information, I believe.
Yeah, went walk down and a 2-game update on some matches. Lucy Sandelin in control, leading Shelly Nell 435 to 341 after 2. Jeanette Baker 435 to 404 over Linda Kelly. And on the low end, there are a couple matches still in the game 2. Also Yolanda Garrett, 22-pin lead over Melissa McAllister. 344 to 322.
Seems to me that Paula keeps breaking stuff here. 10-pin sliding across the deck last time. 2-pin halfway over here. No problem on the spare. Over on 21 and 22. Barbara Batt in the books at 193. Carol Teal can max out at 191. She left a 3-pin on her first shot of the 10th. So she takes care of that, clean it up. So that match is going to be pretty close heading into the finale. Bet will hold at least an 8-pin lead, possibly more, depending on the fill ball. As Paula kicks off the 10th with a strike. 226 still out there. She's going to extend her lead against Ortega. Just a reminder to everyone, we will have one more round of the elimination bracket. After this concludes, there will be no re-oil. We don't have an actual scheduled time like we did earlier today. It's just going to be about 20 minutes after the final match wraps up. Paula gets the late kick on the 7. Yep, see, it's gone. Runner safe at home. Nine-pin match between Barbara Batt and Carol Teal, 11. 388 to 377. Advantage Barbara Batt. .225 and .224 in the book so far for Paula Vidal. So she'll be at 449.
Deb Lee leading Mandy Wilson 421. I believe to 363.
I would agree with you on that. That's what it looks like from here.
So Linda Kelly trying to stave off elimination. She trailed, went into game 3 by 31 pins. And open in the 6th frame after beginning game 3 with the front 5. Jeanette Baker looks like she went strike open. Couple opens and a 3-bagger of her own. Linda Kelly back on the strike train down there.
Oliver Dad having a little bit of fun with our crowd mic here. Can't see it from the angle, but has a fan to keep herself cool in the midst of competition, and just wondering if we could hear that. So that's what that was, folks. The Carol Jones, Lisa Wasson match. Still time for Carol Jones to make a comeback here. She can throw the last 5 strikes to get to 190. Wasson on a 166 pace. She held a 27 pin advantage going into the match, or the final game, I should say.
Good match going on. A few pairs down, folks, between Jeanette Baker and Linda Kelly. Baker, 2-time World Cup champion from Australia. Strike couple opens. She's thrown the back 6. If I can see correctly, looks like she can shoot 247.
Did I just see that right? You put the glasses on to scope down there?
I did.
Whoa.
Getting old. Linda Kelly had the front 5. She opened in the 6th. She has thrown the last 3. She can shoot 260. Important for Baker to continue on. She leads by 31 pins in the match. So at this point, if she strikes out, shoots 247. The Kelly can shoot 260. Looks like 264 on the count perspective. That would not be enough to go around or eliminate in this case. Jeanette Baker. So this one all important.
From the crowd reaction, it sounded like Jeanette delivered.
Yes, indeed. There's been there are 4 representatives of Australia. And the Queens, excuse me, the Senior Queens field, 3 of them made the top 32.
Robin Flynn, one of those competitors, still undefeated in the winner's bracket. She actually knocked off fellow Australian Julie Harrison in round number 2 of the winner's bracket. So Julie got a little break. She'll be up in the next round. Definitely nothing decided over on 21 and 22 yet. Carol Teal and Barbara Batt match essentially, or game essentially even, as Teal gets ready for the 5th frame. Bet held a 11-pin advantage heading into game 3. So that's still definitely a toss-up. Lisa Lawson's going to take the W over Carol Jones. Survive another round. Nice shot there by Adriana, but unfortunately it looks like her 2016 run here at the Queens is going to conclude here after the opening round. On the elimination side, found herself down by more than 100 heading into this game. And Vidal not letting up at all and nearly triple twos. She's always causing trouble, Emil.
Been her MO today, at least in this particular match. Causing trouble.
I know you chatted with Paula for a quick second during the break here, and we talked a little bit about it during that last round, about just how Paula will, in the way she pumps herself up, and when it's time to get going, becomes very animated out in the lanes. And definitely fun to watch, especially when a match is getting down to the nitty-gritty, if you will. She's not afraid to show a little emotion to get herself where she needs to be to continue on.
Not at all, and I admire that as a competitor first and foremost, because you have to do what you have to do as a competitor to keep yourself in a game, in a match. So again, this is my first real opportunity seeing Paul, especially up close in person. You've seen him bowl a few times. So when you saw it, not as shocked or surprised as I was.
It can sneak up on you, though. I will say that. So almost surprises you the first time. So it's but it's a good energy. As we mentioned, real fun to see at the Senior Championships here in Las Vegas last year, and providing that spark at the top of the lineup. '21 and 22. That match still can go either way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carol Teal with the lone double. She's made up a few pins to this point, but Barbara Bett just delivered a strike in the 8th, and she can actually shut out at this point if she were to strike out, but strikes have been few and far between in this match overall. Been a lot of 9 counts along the way. That again over on 21 and 22, just outside of our feature pair.
Washout. Left that a few times, the 1-2-4-10 on the left lane. But she might have stuck at the line and will make it.
That's big. A, didn't lose any count. And B, that keeps it right there. Carol Teal can still step up here in the 9th and 10th. Punch out to get to 212. That would be enough. So best Barbara can get to now 194. That means Carol would have to get to 206. So she would still need the 9th and then the double in the 10th. And then just count wouldn't be too bad, but catches a break and crosses over. Adriana Ortega finishing strong. Teal goes through the nose, first shot of the 10th, leaves the 6 pin. Her max score 192. Barbara Bett would have to get to 182 to secure the win, so that would require Mark and good count. Mark and more good count. That's closer than she was hoping for. Gave away some count there, but 188. think we're going to make a quick move with the camera here to catch this final few shots from Barbara Bett to advance. Needs a mark. Good count.
Not the easiest of spares.
But she does need to convert it. She's currently at 161 in the ninth after the count. So 11 pins separates them. Gets it. So now still needs 7 pins to get to 178. So here it is, 7 to advance. That's 9, that's enough. And Barbara Bett is just going to sneak by. Final score of that game, 180 Barbara Bett, Carol Teal 188. 3-pin difference in the match. Bett 568, Carol Teal 565.
Well, that match could have gone either way. I'm sure each player would tell you they could go back and find however many pins, of course.
Great finish by Adriana Ortega, 232. Just a little bit too late here on Bowl TV. As Paul Vidal finishes up with 223. She actually went down a pin each game, 225, 224, 223 for 672, 579 for Ortega. That will conclude the opening round of the elimination bracket. So we'll take a few moments here. Tournament Director Greg Moore working furiously at the bracket board to make sure everything is good to go, along with Kathy Watka. So we'll have our next set of matches coming up next here on Bowl TV. Once again, they'll be in the elimination bracket side. So don't go too far. Be about 20 minutes from now. We'll be starting up. There'll be practice once again. But join us here on Bowl TV. I'm Aaron Smith alongside Emil Williams Jr. We'll be back in just a moment. Thanks again for stopping by. Another round of elimination match play coming up next on Bowl TV.
All right, bowling fans, that concludes the first round of the elimination bracket. These bowlers will bowl again here in 20 minutes. Ladies, you'll report to your lanes in 6 minutes. Give us a couple minutes to update the bracket board, update our match play recaps, and online information, and we'll get right back to the second round of our elimination bracket. All right, ladies, practice is over. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember that flash photography is prohibited at all times during competition. Out of courtesy, please set your cell phones to vibrate, and remember that the area in front of the counter is considered the field of play and is reserved for our athletes only. Ladies, come on, your arrows come up, ladies. You're ready to roll. If you lose your arrow switch, the higher seed does have choice of start lane. Please raise your hand, and Mr. Key will come down and assist you in getting that done. Good luck and good bowling.
Welcome back to Bowl TV, everybody. This is round number 3 here in the elimination bracket at the 2016 USBC Senior Queens. We're at the Orleans Bowling Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Aaron Smith alongside Emil Williams Jr. of the USBC Communications, and we're excited to bring you wire-to-wire coverage of the 2016 event, which will conclude tomorrow night with a stepladder final. We'll be down to 16 players by the time it's all said and done tonight. One more round to go. Then we'll cut the field down to 5 by the time we get down to the stepladder. So definitely be sure to check that out. Put that on the calendar. 9:30 p.m. Eastern. 6:30 local time here in Las Vegas. So again, that's tomorrow night, day before USBC Queens kicks off. Practice on Friday, opening round taking place Saturday right here at the Orleans. Joining us on 19 and 20, we have Terry Ward, who we saw in the second round of the winners bracket. She fell to top seed Tish Johnson, 700 to 580. Tish was just on a roll, could not be stopped. Terry's taking on Jeanette Baker of Australia. Who lost her first match, but defeated Linda Kelly last round, and now finds herself here looking to get to some Thursday bowling. Needs to win this best of 3 match. I shouldn't say best of 3, but 3-game match. Total pinfall decides who advances. So we'll get to see that unfold live here on Bowl TV. So despite the rounds happening one after the other, this is actually a fresh pattern. As you can see, we moved the cameras from 17 and 18 over to 19 and 20, so they were conditioned before these 2 rounds started. So just a little moving everything around, but we're back at it over on 15 and 16. Matchup of former Senior Queens champions. Paula Vidal, the 2011 champion, taking on Char Hamill, the 2010 champion. And then over on 23 and 24, Barbara Batt and Sharon Aronson are going at it. Camille Williams Jr. joining us in the booth once again here. Camille, we saw Jeanette Baker throw a lot of strikes at the end of her match against Linda Kelly to hold off the Hall of Famer to advance to this round. She's starting off the same way, 3 strikes to kick things off.
Yeah, she was impressive down the stretch. In that match, she held a 31-pin lead, but Linda Kelly was charging. She proceeded to shoot 247. It was enough because of the 31-pin cushion. Kelly ended up shooting 253, if I'm not mistaken. It was great to watch, even from our vantage point. We had a good angle, and she posted every single shot. Every single one was executed almost to perfection, in my opinion.
Baker, a past World Cup champion, representing Australia. Won back-to-back years, I believe, in 1982 and 1983. She was also in Las Vegas late in 2015 for the World Bowling Senior Championships. Australia had a very good showing overall, especially on the men's side. Andrew Frawley taking home a couple of gold medals for the trip. All right, we'll get a quick recap of some of the other matches that took place last round. We got to see Paula Vidal defeat Adriana Ortega 672 to 579. So the winners of those matches are facing off against the folks who lost in round 2 of the winners bracket. So Char Hamill won her first match against Lucy Sandlin, then lost to 2-time defending champion Robin Romeo in the second round. So her bonus for good bowling is a 3rd past Senior Queens champion that she's facing off against. But some of the other matches, Melanie McAllister holds off Yolanda Garrett to advance. She's facing Beth Owen Chipoleski. Karen Miller defeats Penny Fetterman 597 to 533. Karen now facing Julie Harrison from Australia. Lisa Wasson 557 over Carol Jones at 522. Lisa now bowls against Michelle Carter. Barbara Batt just snuck by Carol Teal 568 to 565. As we mentioned, Batt is taking on Sharon Aronson. 682 to 657 the score of that Baker Kelly match. Sandlin defeated Shelly Nell 670 to 546. She's bowling against Michelle Silver now. And the last match, Deborah Lee from Canada 616 over Mandy Wilson at 553. Deborah now bowling Lilia Johnson. Question about how Robin Romeo's doing in this tournament. Well, the 2-time defending champion is just doing what she does here, winning matches So she won her first 2, along with the 7 other bowlers currently done for the rest of the day. They'll be back tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. local time here in Las Vegas. See if they can get one match closer to the stepladder. Once again, a big thanks to our gold industry partners helping out this week. You can see their logos in the top left-hand corner. Columbia 300, Hammer, Kegel, and Storm. These have been some tough draws for Terry Ward all of a sudden. Just can't catch a break here on Bowl TV.
Not at all. And Jeanette Baker pick it up right where she left off in her previous match. And again, all shots just 10 back. Posting at the line. We've seen some folks try to play on the fresh where Jeanette is currently, but just having definitely not the same reaction on a consistent level that we've seen her. Now, again, from our angle, did not really see where she was playing in her previous match. She was several pairs away. But now we get a kind of an up close and personal look. Nice spare there. 4-7-10 converted for Paula Vidal. Jeanette Baker really knows what's happening on the fresh. She is, I'd imagine, of the competitors currently playing and competing.
Well, she barely qualified to make it in. She ended up 27th, so I don't know if she just found something that maybe the baller, could be a part of the lane where she wasn't trying to play before on this 40-foot pattern. But yeah, it's been the tides have turned quickly. It certainly can be a threat out here the rest of the way out. See if Baker can keep it going here in frames 8 and 9, working on 3 in a row. 10 pin, the only thing standing between her and 7 in a row.
That one was probably just a little right. Down lane, but got enough of the head pin, a little light. Got the mixer. Talk about getting off to a good start. This would certainly be proper.
Walking it out a little bit, hoping it makes it up the hill. Another 10 pin, but just seeing a kind of a continuing trend here. People being able to get out to strong starts. here on Bold TV. And unfortunately for Terry, this is the second time we've seen this so far.
Still plenty of frames left.
It's true. Get to
Can
190,
happen
get to 193 here, and
yeah.
take it from there.
It can happen. 3-game match. Total pinfall. Shots like that certainly help. Yeah, for Terry, she's just got to bowl her game. Yeah, that's nothing she can do as far as the opponent, of course. So, throw the best shots possible. Jeanette Baker seems pretty focused.
Paula Vidal jumping out to a good start against Shar Hamill. There's a hit for Terry.
It's an important hit.
Absolutely. Keeps her alive for that 190.
She starts to get a couple more of those. Can develop some big games, hopefully down the stretch.
Now, when we saw Terry a few games ago, that was actually on the burn. We saw her significantly further left. Looking pretty comfortable to the right here at the in the home stretch.
Indeed, that's a great observation. Just throwing something a little shinier on that squad, a previous match. Ball right around 15 to 10 mark, just floating too. Just throwing some good shots, but again, had a tough opponent.
But got to that 193, so great out there, and definitely some confidence moving forward. So it looked like she had a little bit each way, playing a little bit further out, so it's always nice to have some miss room to work with. Baker chance to still get into the 250s here. Just a pair of 10 pins so far. Still just a pair of 10 pins.
.258 will go a long way.
Over on 15 and 16. Paula Vidal can still get to 259 for max score. Max for Shar Hamill, 198. Just an incredibly impressive game by Jeanette Baker. .257, 193, Jeanette Baker grabs the early 64 pin lead. Terry had 2 open frames that game, but finished with the last 4, so looked like she had a little bit of room to work with, so definitely will loosen up the arm swing a bit. .199, 177. Barbara Batt ahead of Sharon Aronson. That's over on 23 and 24. Paula can still get into the 250s. Char Hamill finished with 197 over on 15 and 16. Question about what our competitors are bowling on this week. Got a 40-foot pattern out there. Just a hair under 24 milliliters for the volume, I believe, off the top of my head. Using the Kegel Fire Oil. Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of short duration USBC events, along with the USBC Open and Women's Championships and the PWBA Tour. Once again, a big thanks to Kegel and all of our gold industry partners, Columbia 300, Hammer, and Storm, for their continued support of great events like these. If you'd like to see the graph itself, you can visit bowl.com/Senior Queens. Click on the information tab and that'll get you there. .248 to 197. Paula Vidal with the lead over Char Hamill over on 15 and 16.
Description there, Aaron, regarding the pattern. Even more impressive to Dylan Locke in the chat room. I asked the question, but had a pretty good idea of what it was based on what he saw.
Very, very true. Yeah, this pattern definitely, as we've seen from the get-go, has allowed for multiple angles, and it's kind of in that range where that 38 to 40 kind of varies. There's not necessarily everyone jumping on the same part of the lane. Like, for instance, when you get on a shorter pattern, usually most folks will generate closer to the gutter. Further inside you get, the longer the pattern, the further inside players generally will make their way to. So we see a little bit of variation here too between our two players on 19 and 20. Different types of bowling balls, different surfaces, a little bit different direction.
Last shot from Terry Ward. Very solid one. In fact, she knew it was where she wanted. It was going to strike. She saw Jeanette Baker there. A little bit of area. Probably that's the furthest right she can go. If she misses down lane. That's a good sign. So you know where you can't throw it and how many boards you have to work with. That's a good shot.
Maybe a slight adjustment after just getting back enough on the last shot, and pretty good off her hand.
That would look pretty close to where she had been placing the ball at target-wise. 4 pins, so something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, she still hasn't missed the 1-3 since we started. This final elimination bracket round of the evening.
Good break for Terry. Didn't like it. Fell off the shot, but if there is indeed a hook spot starting to develop there where Jeanette Baker is playing, I think that certainly would play in the favor of Terry Ward. She looks to be using some with a little more surface, of course, but slower ball speed should help her in that regard. A slight move, but 4-3 bagger here.
Liked it. So did her fans.
That was a good shot. The last one on the left lane was a great one. She knew it as well. This is what we talked about. She's finished strong. She's gotten off to a good start here. All you can do is bowl your game. Whatever the opponent will do is what they will do. What Jeanette Baker continues to do.
And do well.
Is put 10 on the board.
Just another double for Jeanette Baker. Like it's nothing. Taking care of business here. Certainly has found a look. Whatever the game plan was, getting to this pair, and obviously last match shooting I think 690 and change. It's gonna be tough on the fresh for the rest of the way out.
give Jeanette a lot of credit. Her first 5 games, round 1 on the fresh. Not good statistically. I'd imagine she'd probably say the same. Shot 884 on the fresh. This morning, obviously, you have made some adjustments. A little better though, than 81 under, 919. But right now, again, didn't see where exactly she was playing in her previous match. But she's got it working.
Got it working.
She has paid attention, certainly, to what was not working for her, and made some great adjustments. Of course, I'm sure it is very possible to not make too many adjustments and do the same things you're doing. The pins may just be cooperating right now as well. Sometimes the unknown variables is Terry puts another strike on the board in the 7th. It's a particular good game individually for both. But right now, of course, the match still belonging to Jeanette Baker currently on the heels of the 257 game. Terry Ward shot 193 in game 1. It could have been a number of things. Perhaps just not being comfortable early on. That shot right there was kind of the first real sign of any potential trouble. Also pocket 7-10 there.
Yeah, definitely didn't have the same kind of drive that that we've been seeing. She misses a little bit out. It's been the light mixer taking care of business, or she's definitely had a little bit of hold too. I mean, we saw a 4-pin on lane 19 back in the 4th frame. But yeah, that was the first real lazy 10 that we've seen, and as you mentioned, almost had the 7 standing with it.
Another 10-pin for Baker. That was one that she's happy with, from a 10-pin perspective. She pitched it right a little bit early, and Paula Vidal, another split conversion. Was that the 410?
That was the 410. Paula was ahead 248 to 197 against Char Hamill, but an open in the 5th. That was the 6th frame where she converted the 410. Open in the 5th. Char Hamill working on 4 out of 5, including a 3-bagger. She's about to step up in the 6th frame. Over on 23 and 24, we have Barbara Batt taking on Sharon Aronson. Batt was ahead 199 to 177 after 1. Another nice shot from Terry Ward. Karen Miller from Las Vegas up 186 to 172 over Julie Harrison. That's over on 11 and 12. Looks like Lucy Sandlin's found something over on 27 and 28. That's about the extent of our viewing range from where we're at the moment. Lucy looking to go 280 against Michelle Silver. She's already through 8. She's stepping up in the 9th in just a little bit.
Big shot here for Terry.
Oh.
Really good shot there, 10-pin. So we have max score of 257.
6, 7, 10 in the ninth for Jeanette Baker, the first non-9 count for her that we've seen so far. As we mentioned, she's been in the pocket the entire time. She'll take the 2. Regroup and prepare for the 10th. She can max out at 213 now. Terry Ward can get to 236, so that would be 20 plus pins coming back. All right, Jeanette wasting no time thinking about a ball change. Goes back to the ball that's got her here so far. Comes in a little bit light, leaves the 10 for 202, so she's at 459. Big 10th frame here, Terry Ward. 2015 Triple Crown Shootout winner. Can she repeat what she did in Game 1? Cool, calm, collected, Terry Ward.
Great shot. Great shot.
Brought the deficit into the 40s, so she's already gained 20 plus pins. Can make it a little bit closer, bring it to 30 with one more. It's gonna have a chance.
Nice shot.
Asking for an update on the Dodd Hamill match, and as we mentioned, 248 for Paul in the opener. Shar had 197. Shar just had a pocket 710 in the 8th frame. She can still shoot 227. She's stepping up in the 9th frame. Paula with a strike in the 8th. She can shoot 224 max. So 35 pin difference, 459, 424. Jeanette Baker with the edge over Terry Ward, but 1 to go. Jeanette covers the 10-pin to kick things off, but definitely got to be a little bit of concern in her camp about what's happened to her ball reaction over the course of the past 6 or 7 frames.
Still making quality shots. Lanes, of course, transitioning. And no break there for Terry Ward. 7-pin will remain. Still have to shoot at a 6-7. But of course, that's a byproduct of something you can deal with in certain situations when you build up a nice lead, as she has. So she does have to combat ball reaction, while it still could be detrimental, but she still has 35 pins in her basket.
Barbara Batt is going to extend her lead against Sharon Aronson. Was up 22 after 1. She's going to shoot 180. Most Aronson can get to is 174 with 3 strikes in the 10th. Paul is going to add on to her lead over on 15 and 16. She hasn't missed since we mentioned it, and going to have an opportunity to throw one more to get to 224. Best Shar can get to is 217. Baker nearly delivers a double 4-pin, stands in the way. She's already built up her lead a little bit more here in the early going of Game 3. Once again, this is the final round that we'll have today on Bowl TV. All remaining competitors after this round, if you will be down to 16 wins all said and done, will return at 9 a.m. local time tomorrow morning here at the Orleans. It's noon Eastern. We'll have it live here on Bowl TV. This is the 2016 USBC Senior Queens in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Aaron Smith alongside Emil Williams Jr. We're providing wire-to-wire coverage of the 2016 event, which will conclude tomorrow evening at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, with a 5-player step ladder final. see if Terry Ward can come up with some more late game magic here. Bowled a phenomenal game in game 2 to get back into this match. Found herself down 64 after 1, so made up 30 pins. Needs to make up another 30 and then some here in the finale. That was not what she was hoping for. .469 to .403 advantage Paula Vidal over Char Hamill. They're just starting game number 3. Nice cover, Terry Ward. Great job taking care of the washout. Both players seen a little change here in game 3, trying to be the first to figure it out and get on a roll. But Jeanette Baker clean through 4, maintaining and adding onto her lead. Mr. Williams, your pad of paper has notes on it. What's the good news?
Well, there was just one match that was not into the 3rd game yet. As we made the walk down, that was the Deb Lee and Lillian Johnson match. After 1, it was 203 to 196 at the time. Lee could have maxed out for 177 and Johnson for 201. So Lucy Sandelin, 453. Michelle Silver, 395. She leads by 58 pins. Barbara Batt, of course, this one is pretty close to us. She leads by 41 pins. .379 to .338. I'm sure you mentioned the Paula Vidal match by now. .469 to .403. On the other side there, Karen Miller had a 40-pin advantage over Julie Harrison, 390 to 350. Miller in the midst of another good game. So was Harrison. Doesn't look like Julie may have enough. Also, Lisa Wasson led Michelle Carter by 42 pinch, 389 to 347. Also on Leanne, Melanie McAllister, 404. And on Chipoleski, 389. All of those, with the exception of the Depley and Lily Johnson match, were into the third game as I made the walk. These are the 10 pins I see as I've come back for Jeanette Baker. We started to see a little bit up at the tail end of game 2.
It's true, but Jeanette staying clean and doing what she needs to. Just one strike between our two competitors here in the finale. So Jeanette had a bit of a cushion there against Terry, and it's just maintaining, not getting herself in trouble here, leaving stuff she can make.
We talked a little bit about it at the beginning of the match here, just about the fact that sometimes you need to manage what's going on the lanes. It took her 5 more frames for her second strike. But still, in the midst of a solid game, of course, pacing at 190. Make a spare, keep moving, keep trying, make a spare. At the same time, of course, now the unfortunate part here is Terry Ward still looking for her first strike, and there it is. And the 7th frame. Seeing Baker smile and share a laugh. So the advantage of you getting off to that great start again. Game 1. Big game, develop that cushion.
That's true. It's time for Terry Ward to put a few strikes together here to put some pressure on. And that was not what she was looking for. Had a 35 pin deficit to make up heading into game 3. That may be it. Creek Church, frame 8. She takes the 3, but that will drop her max score down to 188. So Jeanette just needs to get to 154 at this point. So she's just a few marks away from punching her ticket to Thursday.
There have been no 300s this week at the Senior Queens. Question in the chat room. Shot there from Baker.
That's pretty much going to lock it up here. Already in the 160s. So Baker will face off against the winner of Barbara Batt and Sharon Aronson, it looks like. That match hitting back half of game 3. Barbara's still in good shape to make it another round.
Terry made a slight move there left. See what that move would have potentially gotten her.
Yeah, it's definitely tough when you get into that that situation to make a big move, and especially when you were around the pocket and right there. Had a great look just a game ago. Definitely a nice overall effort though for the week for Terry. Of course, always strikes on the fill. 157. We'll get her to 581 for the set.
Great tournament. Terry, a three-way tie for the 17th seed after qualifying, but you saw her a little bit yesterday, of course, and today, and great game. Seems like a great person, especially from what we saw in the chat. Stephanie Luthold in particular spoke very highly of her, of Terry, her good work with her daughter, and sounds like a great role model, of course, for the youth who are certainly our future for the sport. So come away very impressed with Jeanette Baker.
Certainly so, and once again, kind of talked about it. Just kind of snuck into the top 32, but that's all you got to do. Then she's been able to find the right look. She looked unstoppable in that first game, and finishing up strong here, making the right moves. Another clean game, and a lot of momentum heading into tomorrow's action.
Yeah, and that's the key. Again, she lost a portion of her reaction. Left a lot of 10 pins, but she did not miss one. So
very, very true. The only open that whole time was the split in, I believe, frame 8 of game 2. So she did what she had to do. When she had the look, she took advantage of it. And she's moving on to the next round.
It's funny we say that. Yeah, obviously first time seeing Jeanette bowl, but we know she's a 2-time World Cup champion. So clearly, this is something that probably you shouldn't be surprised by, essentially. But when you see someone for the first time, but I was just more, not only about the game, but I think from start to finish. I watched her in practice. Very focused. The regimen was intact. It was going first ball, throwing her spare ball at 10 pins, and coming back, strike ball, getting lined up. And so she was, to me, from start to finish, was in a dead locked in on what the plan was in this particular match. That more than anything was what I walk away with here in this one.
All right, and speaking of walking away, I think that's what we're going to do for tonight. The other matches surrounding us pretty much decided. Paula Vidad's going to advance over Shar Hamill. To our left there, just starting the 10th frame, and Barbara Batt is going to do the same against Sharon Aronson. So, Mr. Williams, I think that's our cue to exit.
Until tomorrow, sir, and fans.
Definitely a big thanks to everyone for tuning in today to the 2016 USBC Senior Queens at the Orleans in Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll be back tomorrow morning at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. local time here in Las Vegas to continue match play. The big payoff coming at the end of the night. The stepladder final scheduled for 9:30 Eastern, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Pacific. That's going to do it for now. For Emil Williams Jr., I'm Aaron Smith. Everybody have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you tomorrow here on Bowl TV. Thanks again.